So you can read that one there. And I call it the My Reality Is tool. And couples just really eat this one up. In the sense I say, well, I'm just going to teach you one thing before I leave today. And before you leave, right now, I'm going to teach you what I call the My Reality Is tool. And so I draw for them. Look, I learned history in 3 different German-speaking countries. What do you think I think of history? I learned history every day.
3 different things. No?
That's right. When I told the Austrian teacher what the Swiss teacher had said, I got a 4. That's like a D. When I told the German teacher what the Swiss teacher said, I got a D.
Yeah.
So I realized that I had to, just like, and it helped me so much with my parents, that I had to give each teacher back what they said, and I would never know the reality about history. So this is German history, this is Austrian history, this is Swiss history. All I know is the different histories. And just like that helped me so much with my parents, because they were both bad-mouthing each other, well, that was Dad's reality, this is Mom's reality. And I just hold them. And so what we need to do, Rumi, the great Middle Eastern poet, said, all wars and conflicts are created by not honoring the other person's reality. So what we need to do more than anything else in STEP is honor the other person's reality. So then I draw for the client 2 boxes. What we do in America, especially in America, there's A, there's B. And B says to A, come into my reality. You're absolutely wrong. We need to buy not a BMW but a Jaguar. And B says to A, or whatever, no, we can't afford that. And then they have a fight. So we litigate everything in America. We're always litigating. So we need to, in a STEP situation, is create a C reality. A little bit from column A, a little bit from column B. And the way we do that is we take the word you're wrong, you don't know what you're talking about, and we knock it out. We go, I, see, hear, feel. My reality is. My reality is. Okay. And so what I want you to do this week is talk to each other in terms of my reality. Walk down the street and talk about what you see in the windows, or whether you like, your reality is whether you like pears or apples, or blue or green. But when it comes to the kids or anything like that, just say, well, my reality is Johnny just walked in and didn't even say hello to me. And he says, well, my reality was that Johnny sort of nodded and said hi. And we leave it there. Successful marriages are not about conflict, not about the conflict that we have, or the number of times we have conflict. It's how we handle the conflict. You can have as much conflict as you want, but if you're good at handling it, the My Reality Is tool will help you handle conflict. Because most conflicts we don't need to solve. We don't need to create a C. We just hold them. Like the Swiss history and the German history. We're not going to resolve that one. Or my mother or my father. They're not going to resolve that one. So she feels totally bad because Johnny didn't say hello. And he says, yes, he did. He did nod at you. And we leave it there. We're just honoring each person's reality. So we teach people for the next week, I want you to talk in terms of my reality is. About everything. About the soup, about the food, about the day, about my reality is the sky is pink. My reality is the sky is gray. Okay, just leave it there. Do we have to solve that one? Do we have to litigate that? No.
One question. I do understand what you're saying. Just giving her an example, let's say she is then very distraught, it's making her life miserable that Johnny didn't say hello and her husband is not acknowledging it. How do you approach it then?
Just stay with the my reality is, and they're going to learn to stop being miserable about it. See,
Gotcha.
my reality is, they're not going to be miserable about it. They've said what they said what their reality is. He said what his reality is. So she's honoring him, and yeah, she feels bad, but she's gotten it out, and that's so it diminishes the feeling bad because he didn't say, oh, you're wrong. He did say hello. Can't you hear? You have a hard hearing problem.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So you build that as the foundation of the first session. Like that should be
the second thing after
legacy.
the intake.
That's the legacy of a first session.
Well, yeah, if there's a couple, if you're working with a couple. Or she reports her husband saying totally different things.
Okay.
But I don't ask her to teach her husband my reality is too. I want to do that teaching because it sticks more if I do the teaching
Okay.
on that one. Because
Where would you-
I'm watching them to see if they're getting it. See, all the time there is never a resistant client. There is a therapist who can't get something across, who's not a good communicator. So when I have boys that come to me and sit with their hat on the couch there like this. They're ready for the session. So what I do, and they don't get up. So what I do is I walk over to them and I just stand there. Just stand there. And pretty soon he gets up. And he knows hats don't go in this room. And he takes off his hat. And I said, well, how do you want to go? I do a lot of hypnosis with kids. And so this is partially part of hypnosis here. And the way, if you notice the voice changes and the way I talk to you, that's hypnotic inductions. So we are all hypnotists. And you'll learn a little bit more about how to be that. Anybody who gets rapt attention like you are right now, not one person here is moving. You're in a trance. Now you're getting more information in this trance state than you would be if you weren't. So notice when you're working with people that you're throwing them into a trance state. Hitler, all the great leaders, except for Bush, threw people into a trance. And and that's something we do without even knowing it. Bill Clinton is a master at that. I bet he hasn't taken a course in hypnosis at all. You know? There are many people who are masters at this stuff. And then when you see those people, model them. Notice what they do. Learn from them. Watch them on television. Watch their eyes on television. You can tell who's lying. We'll teach tomorrow how to do that. Nobody lies to me, but I don't confront every lie. So I'm not going to give away how I'm doing this all the time to them. But I just keep that in my mind. Yeah, so you know. Yeah, we don't have lying. I mean, we have it, but we know it. So, okay, it's time.